This evening, the bodies of the two missing individuals in the Cuyuni River Mishap found. Suspect charged and remanded for setting TikToker's house on fire. Guyana's cricket carnival promises excitement with dynamic event lineups. In the region, G77 summit, nations hope to establish new economic world order. And internationally, Bangladesh court jails prominent rights activists for 2 years. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for September 15, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Updating a story we brought to you yesterday. The bodies of the two men, Alvin Jordan and Kevin Musa, who had gone missing after a boating accident near Carnival Falls in Region 7, have been recovered in the Cuyuni River. Police Commander Dion Moore confirmed the discovery on Thursday afternoon, leading to the dispatch of law enforcement officers to retrieve the bodies. The men went missing on Tuesday around 6:30 p.m. in Kurutuku village, Upper Cuyuni River. 44-year-old Kevin Musa, a miner from Pomeroon, and 6 co-workers, including 41-year-old Alvin Jordan, a father of 3 from West Coast Demerara, were socializing at Kurutuku village before they saw transportation to their mining camp. They stopped a metal boat with a captain and 2 occupants and asked for a drop at their mining camp about 20 minutes from Kurutuku village. The metal boat was transporting 14 drums of diesel along with the 10 persons. About 10 minutes into their journey, the boat captain navigated a small rapid when the boat struck a rock, causing it to take in water. As a result, the occupants jumped out of the boat and swam to shore, leaving Kevin Musa and Alvin on the rock in the middle of the Cuyuni River. They both were heard shouting for a few minutes, then stopped. An alarm was raised and police were notified. In other news, Anthony Budram, a 33-year-old fisherman from Mahaica, East Coast Demerara, has been charged for setting fire to a building at Mosquito Hall, Unity, East Coast Demerara, when he appeared at the Sparna Magistrates Court on Thursday. Budram appeared before Magistrate Alicia George, where the charge was read to him. He was not required to plead and was remanded to prison. Budram is accused of setting fire to the dwelling house of 49-year-old Guyanese TikToker Budram Ramlal, also known as Reka, and his 75-year-old mother Gomati Pitambar, both of Lot 79 Mosquito Hall, Mahaica, on September 9th. In a TikTok video, Ramlal, known for his cross-dressing and Indian dance videos, shared his harrowing experience of narrowly escaping the fire that consumed his home. He explained that he had heard someone threatening to kill him and break his wall before realizing his house was on fire. Ramlal managed to flee with only his undergarments, witnessing his home and his 75-year-old mother's nearby apartment engulfed in flames. He believed the fire was a result from an old grievance dating back to 15 years. The Guyana Fire Service confirmed that the fire that left Ramlal and others homeless was maliciously set. Budram will make his next court appearance on October 10, 2023. On a different note, in collaboration with the Cricket Carnival Committee, the government unveiled an exciting lineup of events for this year's Cricket Carnival during a press conference at the Arthur Chung Convention Center at Liliendal. The carnival will feature various events including Welcome Home Pan, Brass and Soca, and Ghana Super Concert, Regional Food Festival, Cricket Carnival Road Parade, President's Cup, Chutney Concert, and Caribbean Premier League games. General Manager of the Cricket Carnival Committee, Abigail Mohabir, assured attendees that security measures would be in place for all events and secure parking would also be available. The Super Concert in particular will feature international and local music powerhouses like Marsha Montano, Kes the Band, Shensia, and Adrian Dutching, among others. The organizers aim to make it a celebration of unity and diversity, promising a night of packed entertainment. The Cricket Carnival will coincide with the Hero Caribbean Premier League, semi-finals and final playoffs, offering tourists a fantastic celebration of everything Ghana has to offer. With a vibrant and dynamic lineup of events, this year's Cricket Carnival is set to provide an unforgettable experience for all. Stick around when we return. Teachers to receive cash grants for classroom supplies, and the police seeks public help in identifying suspect in alleged burglary.
Oh gosh, what's this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0
Start improving your child grades today. Register for our primary or nursery department. Hidden Treasures, we're located at 204 E Half Charlotte Street between Camp and Alexander. Or contact us at 649-0373.
I can call them now.
Hidden Treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
All we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate soak for all you want to know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education has announced a new initiative to support teachers by providing cash grants for purchasing classroom supplies each term.
Over the years, teachers have complained to us bitterly over many years that they have always had to spend their own resources to get classrooms ready, whether it was using it for cardboard and making aids on the wall, or chalk, or buying bleach and toilet paper. And parents have also complained to us that they were being asked repeatedly to provide goods and other items to the classroom for their children's learning. In addition to giving the cash grant to parents and teachers who are parents, and in addition to trying to make classrooms smaller and getting teachers trained, we are very, very happy to announce that we're beginning the school's cash grant.
Minister of Education Prem Manikchan emphasized that the money goes to the teacher and not the students.
Today we begin the distribution of grants to schools all across Guyana, where children on the coastland, each classroom, each child, each teacher of a classroom is going to be able to get $4,000 per child on the coastland. Now the child doesn't get the money. The value of $4,000 per child goes to the teacher of the classroom. So for a classroom of 30 children on the coastland, the teacher is going to get $120,000 per term to buy whatever she wants to buy in the lines of janitorial, field, and office. In the hinterland, it's going to be $5,500 per child.
This initiative aims to alleviate the financial burdens on teachers who often have to purchase classroom materials out of their own pockets. The grants will enable teachers to procure janitorial, office, and field supplies, including items such as chalk, markers, crayons, and cleaning materials.
Now, this has never been done before. We're very glad to be able to do this. Teachers are going to have wide latitude about what they buy. So we know some of the generic things that are needed: cardboard and chalk and Play-Doh and markers and crayons and cleaning supplies and so on. But we also know that list, and while we are providing lists of what can be bought, we know those are not exhaustive, because if we have innovative teachers, which is what we want, then I expect to see other things added to that list. So as of today, we begin to distribute grants across the country to our teachers in service to our children and our parents, and I'm very happy to be able to do this.
This approach is part of a broader strategy by the Education Ministry to address the needs of teachers, which includes training and smaller classrooms. In other news, the Guyana Police Force is seeking the public's assistance in identifying this male suspect involved in an alleged burglary. The incident took place at a home in Toker on the east coast of Demerara. The suspect is believed to have stolen 2 tablets, an HP computer, and a cell phone, all valued at $250,000. The police have released the CCTV screen grab of the identifiable male, urging anyone with information to come forward. All information provided will be treated as strictly confidential. Wrapping up this section of the news, the Chedichagan International Airport is changing its appearance, including colorful designs on its curtain walls, as part of the government's effort to modernize and enhance the aesthetic appeal of the airport. While this move has sparked controversy, Minister of Public Works Bishop Edghill emphasized that the goal is to create an environment that leaves travelers amazed and eager to return. The minister clarified that the changes are not intended to block anyone out or hide anything, but rather to improve the airport's overall appearance. He pointed out that the airport security zone requires renovations to provide a safe and secure environment for users, leading to the construction of a new facade to enhance the appearance of the shops and surroundings. The CGIA authorities engage with small business owners within the facility, providing them with paints and supplies to contribute to the beautification efforts to ensure a collaborative approach. Minister Edghill also highlighted the airport security challenges, emphasizing the government's commitment to collaborating with stakeholders to address these issues while minimizing disruption to citizens' lives. Don't go away after the break. U.S. sees surge in child labor violations, and Bangladesh court jails prominent rights activists for 2 years.
Problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. Here's credit. And today, all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you who don't know nothing, with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook. but she wrote it even wrong. It's shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Beccaphonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Delegates from the world's developing countries are gathering in Cuba. The group of 77 represents 80% of the planet's population. This year, focus will be on trade and technology. Al Jazeera's Latin American editor, Lucia Newman, reports.
Leaders of the world's largest intergovernmental organization have arrived in Havana for the South Summit, the top decision-making body of the Group of 77. The G77 was formed in 1964 within the United Nations system by 77 developing countries that were demanding a new international economic order to give them effective control over their natural resources. Today, it's expanded to 134 members. The organization's goal is to allow these emerging countries from the so-called Global South to join forces to articulate and promote their economic interests, as well as strengthen their joint negotiating power on economic issues within the UN system.
It's not a formal bloc, but it's a negotiating bloc, which is very important at the time of negotiations inside the United Nations and all the different technical apparatuses that form part of the United Nations.
China has been providing consistent political and economic support to the G77 since 1994, but it does not consider itself to be a member. That's why the meeting of the South Summit is called G77 plus China. This year's summit theme, chosen by the host, Cuba, is to improve trade, technology transfer, and innovation for developing countries.
One of the most important chasms and inequalities in the international order is the exclusion of the countries of the Global South in processes of developing knowledge and access to science and technology.
Promoting South-to-South cooperation is also a top goal.
In many ways, the G77 is the flip side of the G7, the club of the world's most developed economies. But while the Group of 77 may not be the richest countries in terms of GDP, together they have the most resources, a none too small fact that reminds them of their strength in numbers. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Havana.
The U.S. Labor Department is reporting violations of child labor laws have increased by 70% in the past 5 years. Most of the cases are about children as young as 12 years old working long hours in commercial farms. Al Jazeera's John Hendron reports.
At 14, Vanessa Flores hardly looks like a veteran agricultural worker. But she says she started laboring on a pig farm in North Carolina when she was just 6 years old. Working alongside her parents, she's seen fellow child workers get hurt as they dodged snakes and pigs for $450 for 3 months of summer work.
It's not a good condition, and you gotta walk through that, and you gotta smell that, and you gotta get used to rats going through your feet, because you just gotta walk and you just gotta try not to be afraid.
Flores told us she didn't feel comfortable revealing where she worked because she wanted to protect her family. Now she hands out school supplies to other Latino children as an organizer for a community group called El Pueblo at this event in rural North Carolina.
The pigs, you don't know, they're really unexpected, so they could come charging at you, or they could do anything, like they could just bite you.
Many children, like Vanessa, work before they're legally able. But while children have to be 14 to work in most jobs, federal laws allow children as young as 12 to work on commercial farms, and even younger if the farm is owned by their parents.
We need to close those loopholes. We need to increase child labor fines because companies aren't feeling enough pain when they violate the law.
The U.S. Department of Labor reported child labor violations rose by 70% since 2018. In 2021, 24 children died from work injuries, about half of them on farms. In the past year, lawmakers in at least 10 states loosened or proposed to ease the laws that govern children at work.
Economists say a labor shortage is in part behind the drive to loosen laws in some states. But child labor has long been an issue in the U.S., especially in agriculture.
Brenda Demas Lopez, now 22, remembers working illegally starting at age 5 in the blueberry fields and later hog farms alongside her parents, who could not afford childcare. She says after several years she could no longer remember the names of her employers. She says a main reason for the child labor problem in the U.S. is race.
A lot of these communities out there in the fields are the indigenous communities, the Latinos communities, and the black communities. We see these lawmakers and we know that the kids in the fields don't resemble theirs. And I feel like that might be part of the problem right there. It's the fact that they don't care about us.
In the past 2 years, more than 250,000 unaccompanied minors have reportedly crossed the U.S. border. The Biden administration has created a task force to crack down on the surge of illegal child labor cases. But with a shortage of field hands and more young migrants crossing the border daily in need of work, that job might be more challenging than ever. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Raleigh, North Carolina.
A court in Bangladesh has sentenced 2 prominent rights activists to 2 years in prison for publishing a report that accused police of extrajudicial killings 10 years ago. Human rights groups are demanding their immediate release. Al Jazeera's Tanvir Chowdhury reports.
The sentence against rights activist Adilur Rahman Khan and Nasruddin Ilan came down in a crowded courtroom in Dhaka. Several members of human rights groups and representatives from foreign missions attended, including the UN, US, Canada, and the United Kingdom. The defense and prosecution said they were not happy with the decision to send the men to prison for 2 years. Both sides will file an appeal at the High Court.
As a defense lawyer, I think the government has simply failed to prove its case. The prosecution was unable to submit any valid documents to substantiate their allegations.
As a state prosecutor, we expected a more significant and longer sentence in this case. We are planning to appeal this verdict.
A week before the verdict, right activist Adilur Rahman Khan and Nasruddin Ilan spoke to Al Jazeera about the various rights violations by security forces they have compiled over the years.
In the democratic system, in the democratic countries, human rights organizations, human rights defenders are allowed to function. But unfortunately, we have authoritarian system. And under authoritarianism, human rights is something which is foreign.
The Information Communication Act is a repressive law. It's widely used against those with dissenting voices and against opposition political party members, so that no one can speak out against the government, and is designed to create an atmosphere of fear.
Their group's Odhikar has been documenting abuses in Bangladesh since 1994 and has worked with the United Nations. This case relates to a report they published 10 years ago accusing security forces of excessive force and extrajudicial killings. The US, European Union Parliament members, Amnesty International and other rights organizations have urged the authorities here to immediately release the activists. The jail sentence verdict of two leading rights activists is bound to have a chilling effect on civil society and human rights defenders at large in Bangladesh.
Digital security.
On Thursday, Bangladesh's Law Minister Anisul Haq said it's not possible to dismiss cases filed under a Special Digital Security Act, which activists say has been used to crack down on dissent.
In democratic countries, human rights organisations and human rights defenders are allowed to function. Unfortunately, we have an authoritarian system. Under authoritarianism, human rights is something which is foreign.
This is the first time in Bangladesh's 52-year history rights defenders have been sentenced to prison for reporting on violations. Critics and rights groups say instead of independently investigating and responding to the findings of Odikar's report with facts, the authorities have chosen instead to punish the human rights activists for doing their work. Tanvi Chaudhary, Al Jazeera, Dhaka.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's CFTV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We will be off for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.